Okay, so now we're on operations on matrices. Okay, so here I've got two matrices and I want to add them together. So this doesn't really have anything to do with solving equations. It's just operations on matrices that I could do. It would be handy if I was trying to create Photoshop or something because you've got all these pixels, and if I wanted to overlay two pictures in Photoshop, basically I just like doing it pixel by pixel. I'm just putting them on top of each other. It's kind of like adding them together. So it has its uses. Anyway, so I want to add these two boxes together, and it's really just do the obvious. I'll just take this little corner right here, the upper left, and I'll just add them together. 2 plus -1. Okay, that's 1. -3 plus 0. -3. 4 plus 0. 1 plus -1. And that's the answer. Okay, just add the boxes. So here that would be 2, 0, 0, 0, 6, 0, 0, 0, 6. All right, now it's easy enough to do that I just did them that quickly. Okay, if I really wanted my calculator to do them, what I would do is I would take and I'd put this in matrix A. So I'd go into matrix, I'd edit, I'd make a 2 by 2, I'd put this in there. Then I'd have to go back into edit and I'd have to actually use matrix B this time so I could have them both in there. And then I would go to my normal screen and I would go into names and I'd choose A. And then I would get that plus sign, just a regular plus sign on the calculator, not any fancy RF kind of area or anything, just the regular plus sign. I would use that. And then I would go back into names, and this time I'd say B, and then I'd hit enter, and it would tell me that. And so if that was the only problem I was ever going to do with these, that would really be a waste of my time. I could do it in my head faster than I could get there and enter it all in and get it all added together. So you don't absolutely need this in order to add two matrices together. Now in the homework, I say, okay, here's two matrices, add them. And then the same exact two matrices, subtract them. And then matrix A, multiply it by -4. Well, I didn't say what that is, but it's do the obvious. Take this whole matrix right here and multiply it by -4. That's going to be -8. That's going to be +12. That's going to be -16. And that's going to be -4. I'm just multiplying each and every one of them by -4. And if I wanted to multiply matrix A by a 3, and then I wanted to multiply matrix B by 2, and then add those two matrices together. Okay, now we're starting to get in the point where, and then in terms of the number of steps I'd have to do by hand, I don't need any steps by hand with my calculator. I could just put this in, 3, and then I could put in the names A, and the plus sign, and the 2, and the names B, and it would do all of the work all at once. I wouldn't have to do any of it. So it starts to be an advantage if you want to do a whole bunch of different operations on the matrix, so you want to store what you've done so you can do it to some other matrix later or something like that. I can multiply by a number like -4. I can't divide by a number. I mean, to me, it seems really obvious what I would, if you said, oh, divide this matrix by 2. Well, I know how to multiply by 4. I'll just multiply them all. But divide by 2, okay, well, I'm just going to divide that by 2. It'll be a 1. This will be a -1.5. This will be a 2. That'll be a 0.5. I know what to do. It seems really obvious, but if in the calculator you go A divided by 2, your calculator freaks out. Got no idea. Doesn't know what to do. Okay, if you had to divide a matrix like that, you can't divide. You have to multiply by a half. So you could say 1/2 times matrix A, and all of a sudden it knows what to do. It can't divide. It's got no idea about division. But in fact, I would probably not even do that. I'd probably put a 0.5 out here. There isn't a homework problem like that. But that's what you would do if someone asked you to divide by 2, is instead you have to multiply by a half.